Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. I was too busy admiring my sealed copy of Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius Volume 1 from the Game Boy Advance video lineup. Can you blame me? So yeah, this is a thing I own because I just am really fascinated with the Game Boy Advance video. If you weren't aware what those are, they're basically a series of cartridges released for the Game Boy Advance, but instead of being like games, like, you know, what you would expect to release on the game console, they were essentially like DVDs in the sense that they actually had like episodes of like an animated series or something else that you could actually watch on your Game Boy Advance, like a DVD player, except it's on a Game Boy Advance, which means it plays in like something like 140p, and it's super compressed, and the sound quality is garbage, so it's a terrible way to watch the show, which is why I love it, just because of how strange it was. It was essentially supposed to be, I think, Nintendo's answer to the like the Video Now player, or just all sorts of like portable DVD players or ways to watch shows on the go that were happening at the time. Nintendo was like, we can do that with our Game Boy Advance. This will definitely not go horribly. But that's why I love these things. They're just so like unbelievably bad in their quality, and also just so interesting that, you know, that sort of thing even existed. Like I can play Elf Bowling and watch Dora the Explorer on the same console. Oh my god. But yeah, I love these things so much that I'm trying to get a complete set, which I don't normally do, but because it's actually manageable, because I think there's only like 40 cartridges or so, so I really want to complete that, and I think I'm doing pretty good. I think I actually have I have half the library at this point, and I've even got some of the like super hard to find ones, like the Proud Family and Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go, or some other whatever it's called. You do not want to know how much those costed. But pretty early on, when I started my search for these cartridges, I was looking up eBay because I wanted to own like a complete in-box copy with like the box and stuff, because, you know, since the Game Boy Advance videos had like, you know, these cardboard boxes, it's a lot harder to find the boxes for those because most people, you know, just threw them away because it's just like, I'm never gonna need this. So it's difficult to find them in the box. So it's basically just sort of a novelty because it's cardboard, like they don't even hold stuff that well. But I just wanted, you know, I was like, you know, I want to own one in the box. So back in April, I believe it was, I just went on eBay looking for, you know, complete in-box Game Boy Advance video, and I found this, which was not only complete in box, but sealed for some reason. And for some reason, nobody bought it. I wonder why. But yeah, I decided I wanted to buy it. It was listed for $25, but there's an option to make an offer, so I made an offer for $20 and they accepted it. So, that's the best $20 I'll ever spend in my life. So yeah, I bought this in April, and it's currently December, and I was just kind of waiting for like the right moment to open it. And so recently, since I got a new microphone, I was like, I should like record something to like test out my new microphone, but what can I record that would be interesting? It's time. So anyways, just to kind of look at the box and stuff, yeah, look, it's Game Boy Advance video. Watch full color video on the Game Boy Advance. Could you imagine if it was not full color? And you got Majesco. I don't know what Majesco does outside of the Game Boy Advance video line. I think they've probably made other games and stuff, but that's something. And I've always really loved the spines on these things, just like I don't know, like the film strip design just looks really cool. And like when you put it on the shelf next to a bunch of other stuff, it just, I don't know, I like it. That looks cool. I wish they did that with more of the spines, because most of the Game Boy Advance spines are just really boring looking. So yeah, for episodes, we got Brobot. Jimmy constructs Brobot, the perfect little brother he never had, but trouble brews when he becomes very annoying and more popular than Jimmy. Oh no! I think I remember watching that episode when I was a kid. I don't think I liked it. The Big Pinch, to settle a classroom argument about who invented radio, Jimmy brings Thomas Edison to the president. You know what? I will hand it to them. That is a very stupid idea, but I kind of like it. Honestly, if I was working on a show like this, that'd probably be the kind of concept I would want to work on, because that's awesome. Granny baby? And then you've got Time is Money, where he travels 15 years into the past when his parents were swinging sweethearts, but his investment tip changes the future, but with unintended consequences. Sure, and yeah, 44 minutes of runtime. I was always really impressed that they actually fit full episodes onto a GBA. Like, obviously, you know, quality is garbage, but just the fact that they were actually able to do the full episodes without any sort of, like, cuts or, like, just cutting out random parts of the episode or stuff and actually having the full episode is pretty impressive. That's nothing compared to the Shrek and Shark Tale combo pack cart, which puts the full movie of Shrek, the full movie of Shark Tale on the same Game Boy cartridge. And yes, the final thing is like, I don't know, the runtime of both movies, which is like 180 minutes, which is just incredible. As you could probably guess, the video quality is absolutely abysmal just to squeeze all that in the cart. But it looks so terrible. It's so funny. That's one of my favorite things I own. Because why wouldn't I own that? But yeah, that's the box. I don't... There's not really much more I can say about it. I just noticed that transparent PNG of Jimmy on the back. Jesus Christ, that... Okay. But yeah, that's the box. It's pretty neat and stuff, but now for the moment that you all actually care about. Let's open up a sealed Game Boy video box from 2004. All right. Hopefully this doesn't end too badly. Just want to like cut it a little bit, just so I don't want to damage such a relic. This is making me nervous. If I end up doing any sort of like bend or damage to this, I'll never forgive myself. Oh my god. Okay. Gonna cut it carefully. Preserve the packaging. Oh. Yes. Yes. Come on. He's free! Alright, so the only downside to waiting so long to open this is that since I bought this, I've bought multiple other Game Boy Advance video cartridges in the box. So I'm kind of already spoiled as to like what the insides. So that kind of stinks, but you know what? Maybe there'll be a little bit of a surprise waiting inside for us. Where's the tap? There's. Oh no, I don't want to bend it. Oh, I hate opening like cardboard boxes like this because then you're gonna bend it. Oh, look at that. Okay, I'm actually pretty proud of how I did that. Alright, so first off, we got the... There he is! It's Jimmy! What's interesting about this is that I've actually gotten I think one or two of the boxes I got of these actually still had this like plastic wrapper that the cartridge was in from when it was sealed. So I didn't know that people actually kept that. That's pretty neat. But yeah, this is definitely more interesting than your standard Game Boy Advance cartridge. Because of course, obviously you got the white. I think what this was like to make it stand out is like, hey, this is a video cartridge that will play a show. It is not a game. Probably because of confusion. Because I know there was stuff like the Proud Family had both a Game Boy Advance volume and a actual game. That's actually why these boxes are so like strange and like vertical compared to the normal Game Boy Advance video stuff. Because, you know, they gotta make it stand out so people don't buy Proud Family game when they meant to buy Proud Family on video. Yeah. Yeah, there's not really much else to say about this specific cartridge. Look, there's Jimmy. I don't know why, but pretty much any sort of like still render of Jimmy for promotional art just looks so stinky. Alright, I'm a little disappointed that the only other thing inside is the manual, because that's the only other thing that was inside the other copies I got that were not sealed for the other stuff, but you know what? It's whatever. And now we have Jimmy Neutron manual. Alright, what have we got in here? No way! There we go. Pretty straightforward, just basic controls on how to do stuff. Like, I was actually pretty impressed with like the kind of features that you can have while watching the show. Like, despite the fact that like they're already making a lot of compromises, you can still like fast forward, pause, do the scene selection stuff. There's also a really cool feature where like you can hold up on the D-pad to lock all the buttons. That way, when you're like holding the system and stuff, you don't accidentally press A and like pause or like accidentally skip ahead or anything. It'll just lock all the buttons so they don't do anything unless you unlock it, which is actually like really, really impressive. And also, you can also press the A and B buttons to go darker and brighter, because the original Game Boy Advance did not have a backlight, so you would have to hold it up to a light to actually see things. So instead of actually like having Nintendo fix the problem, games had to include options to adjust the brightness. That's really funny. And then we have Getting Started, which is the only sort of other instructions in this manual, if I remember correctly. It's just telling you how to turn on your Game Boy Advance and put the cartridge in. So, like, what's the point of this? And then we open this up. It's just advertisements from here on out. I don't know. I just think it's funny. You already have something as short as it is, and then you have the rest be advertisements. I mean, what have we got? Find what happens when fairy godparents get a little odd. Find out in the new Fairly Odd Parents Cinemanga? You mean like actual like manga? Yeah, from Tokyo Pop, so maybe it... I've never heard of this. What? Is that like an actual like left to right, like... Or right to left. Excuse me, I don't read manga. Anyways, busting out for Bikini Bottom. He's got a cinemanga too. What is this? That just looks like regular SpongeBob promotional art, not like anything like... Okay. Maybe it's not the kind of manga I'm thinking of. Maybe it's just like... I don't know. Also, I just want to say I hate this SpongeBob render with a passion. I don't like how they use it so much. Please stop. Anyways. Look at that. Look at all those volumes of Nickelodeon content just for the Game Boy Advance. 2 volumes of Fairly Odd Parents, Jimmy Neutron, which I have right now. Whoa. All Grown Up, which is that weird Rugrats spin-off with like, where it's like the Rugrats characters, but they're grown up. It's like, okay. I don't know if it's good or not. I haven't watched it yet. I'm sorry. And then 2 volumes of SpongeBob. And SpongeBob actually had 3 entire volumes on the Game Boy Advance. Plus, they also had, not featured here, like 2 specific like Nicktoons Volume 1 and Nicktoons Volume 2, which included like 2 episodes of SpongeBob and like 1 Fairly Odd Parents, and then 1 of some other show that like I don't think anyone really cared about or cares about currently. I probably just angered someone by saying that. I'm sorry. I just don't know much about it. But yeah, Nickelodeon released a lot of stuff for the Game Boy Advance. It's kind of funny. Like Dora isn't listed here. That's another thing they released. I think they released more than most of the other companies who worked on this. I think Cartoon Network released a lot. But not really much outside of those two. Because I think besides that, there's just like Shrek and Shark Tale from DreamWorks, Sonic X, the Pokemon anime. I think Disney did like a few things. That's about it. Anyways, getting a little off topic. Yeah, just a 2-page advertisement. That's like almost a quarter of this entire pamphlet. Okay. And after that's just credits for the GBA video cartridges, which is pretty cool that they actually included that in all of these manuals, I believe. And crediting the people who were able to make this possible. And of course, my favorite kind, legal mumbo jumbo. Look at all that. Yeah. Oh, and look! For all the latest news on Game Boy Advance Video, drop by www.gba/video.com. Whoa. I'm sure that leads to a virus or something nowadays. Just happens a lot with old websites. So yeah, that was pretty neat. Honestly, it was a little underwhelming just because I've bought complete unboxed things before that weren't sealed, so I already kind of knew what to expect inside. But that's kind of my own fault. But it was still a pretty cool experience opening up something so old and something that I've like never really seen unboxings for before. And also for something that's just so stupid that I love it so much. But there's still one thing we have left to do. We're going to play this. Alright, I've got my Game Boy Advance SP here. So it's time for us to play Jimmy Neutron as we've never seen him before. Bad. Ooh. Yeah, not compatible with the Game Boy Advance player, so that was a add-on you could put on the GameCube to play Game Boy Advance cartridges on your TV screen, but they didn't let you do it with this because, you know, piracy, I guess. Oh. Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. Glorious. This is the greatest title screen I've seen in my life. It's literally just a JPEG. Oh, it moves! And yeah, this is the select screen. This is just the same template that's in every Game Boy Advance video cartridge. You just choose an episode. I have to see the Thomas Edison one. Look at that. Look at all those options. Gotta love it. Oh my god. This is so much worse than all the other ones I've used before. I think it's because the 2D animation can at least look nice when it's pixelated. But you just got these 3D models and just... I mean, Jimmy Neutron already kind of looked ugly to begin with. This just kind of... Oh my god. Oh god. What? Oh. Oh! Reference? It's him! Got him. So there we have it. I unboxed a sealed GBA video cartridge, and my life will never be the same. But yeah, that was fun. I always wanted to like do this and kind of like record my reaction ever since I first bought this back in April. Just never really had the time. But it was fun. I love the GBA video, and it's kind of cool to say that I've actually like owned a new copy, never before touched by anyone else, and opened it myself. So now I know just what it was like to be a 8-year-old in the early 2000s with this as my only entertainment. But yeah, I'm really glad I own this, and I'm able to say I owned a brand new copy of GBA video. I'm sure that's gonna make people jealous. I can't help it. I don't know what else there is to say. That was kind of funny. Let's see what Jimmy has to say. Okay, never mind.